showed blind people. And these blind people could read printed material. So when I saw this, I was very skeptical, but also a part of me knows that we're not just a physical body. We have more to us than this. And created EEG brain training to actually change the structure of your brain, to make your meditations deeper, to make your expansion of your awareness far beyond what it would normally might take decades to have. And this can be in minutes. In the United States, and this is, I'm not sure where it is, what the statistics are other places, but in the United States, suicide is the number 2 cause of death for people ages 10 to 34. So it's not just children. It's also young adults to full adults. I mean, 34, you're not an old person, but you're definitely not a child. And it's the number 2 cause of death in this country. And yes, we have these school shootings. We have so much mental health issues. We have so much in the way of depression, anxiety. We have so much that also has to do with the toxins and the food and the negative things that we put into our body. Most people have parasites, and parasites can, think about it. They're eating your food, and then they have waste products too. So they're basically pooping inside your body, and we have microscopic ones. All people have parasites. We do. We have trillions of them. But the thing is that they can change your mood. They can change the way you think. They can change your attitude and your energy level. So when we do the integrated ascension method breath work, especially this type of breath work is unique in the world. It's not like Wim Hof. It's not like pranayama. It's not like Kundalini. It has elements of those, but it also has its unique factor. But breath is the number 1 way that we detox our body. Number 1, over 70% of all the toxins in our body leave through our breath. But most people breathe so shallow, they breathe so little, that they're just keeping all the toxins inside their body. And so teaching people how to, first of all, breathe properly. Second of all, become very present and aware of their breath and where they're at. Like, where are they? They're always, well, like if I ask you, where are you? Well, you might be in Delaware, but the real answer is here. And what time is it? Well, for me, it's 10:21 Mountain Time in the morning, but the real answer is now. And if we ask ourselves that question, where am I? Here. What time is it now? We can bring ourselves back into that presence. And then, as Patriji taught, and when we just sit, just relaxed and focus on our breath. That's such a major part of PSSM, is to focus on your breath. We all come in with a breath and we all leave with a breath. It's the first thing we do. It's the last thing we do. In between, we have 25,000 to 29,000 times a day, except for when we're sleeping. Okay, maybe not focusing on that part, but during our waking hours, to bring ourselves back into quiet presence in our breath. Just active. When you do that, you are taking in more oxygen molecules than there are grains of sand in the world. Every breath. So every breath is a miracle. And so for the youth, and also, I really specialize in helping people who have asthma or COPD or long COVID or emphysema, people who have breathing trouble. We have the most toxic air we've ever had. Whether people believe in global warming or not, that's a totally different subject. But nobody can deny that we have more pollution. We have more waves like 5G and EMF, things that affect us negatively. We have more toxins in the air than we have ever had before. And that's why in the United States, asthma went up by 50% in between 2005 and 2016. 50%. And it's the number 1 reason for children being hospitalized in the United States is asthma. So what if there was a way that you could breathe properly in a different way to help not have those asthma attacks or the COPD or these things that harm us, and be releasing good, healthy, happy chemicals in our body like oxytocin and vasopressin and melatonin and serotonin and dopamine, these things that feel good to us in a natural way that helps clean our system. It's a no-brainer for people to get involved in something like this. And I'm really blessed that I get to bring something like this to so many people, and that breath work, meditation, the yoga especially is a beautiful thing as well. And meditation is really becoming so popular because we've never been as stressed out and we've never been as
Yes.
sick as we are now, and we need these things.
So basically, you're saying that breathwork is a core part of your integrated ascension method, and all these techniques you're going to teach, it's going to help us really impact our health and consciousness, right?
Yes. So I'll give you an example. One of my most basic techniques. A good friend of mine is one of the most famous big wave surfers in the world. And when I met him, this is 10 months after he woke up from a coma. Now, to pre-frame that, he had COVID. Now, this man has the world record for being on a ventilator the longest and surviving and recovering. He was on a ventilator for 70 days. The last 30 days, he was in a medically induced coma where they wanted to replace his lungs. They wanted to give him a lung transplant. His wife would not allow that, and she said if he dies whole. Well, he came out of it, but when he woke up from his coma, he was paralyzed from the neck down.
Mm.
And the reason I mention this is because here is somebody who could hold their breath for 3 minutes or more while they're getting smashed by like 10-meter waves, and now they can't walk, they can't talk, they can't they can't swallow by themselves, they can't breathe by themselves. He had to learn
Yes.
everything over again. So when I met him, he could only walk up 3 or 4 steps. And I taught him one of the exercises that we're going to be doing together on the PMC show. And at the end, he started getting teary eyed. He started crying. And I went over and I said, Drew, what happened to you? And he looked up at me and he said, Nate, this is the best I could breathe since I got sick. It took 5 minutes to do that. And the next day, we went surfing together. He was able to surf for the first time since he got COVID. And why? I mean, that is standard. That is normal from this exercise, these work. It's not that I'm not doing anything. I just show a way. I'm like if you're going to climb a mountain, you want to get to the top of the mountain, I could be your Sherpa, but I'm not your
Yeah.
helicopter. I'm not going to carry you up there. But I do have tools. I do have the right supplies for you to use on your ascent to help you be safer, to get there faster, to be healthier. And I like to think of it kind of like a shortcut, like a cheat code, because when you're able to do something in 5 to 10 minutes a day, that the rest of your day you feel amazing,
Yeah.
it's worth a 5, 10 minutes. A lot of people don't necessarily have the time to do a 3 hour meditation every morning. They would be better off if they
Sure.
did, but come on, it's real life, right? But if you have 5 to 10 minutes, what I show will help you immensely. And then anybody that has breathing issues, you can do different things throughout the day. That if you feel an asthma attack coming on, if you feel an episode coming, I've had so many students, at least 95% of my students over the past 25 years have been able to eliminate or significantly reduce their asthma and their allergies in very short order. And I have one student, her asthma was so bad that she would have to be put on a ventilator once or twice a year to have it breathe for
Mm.
her because she couldn't breathe on her own. After 6 months of doing this breath work, to this day, she still does not need any medicine. No inhalers, no doctors, nothing, because she does this 5 minutes in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So I'm happy to bring that to the PSSM Global community. Yeah.
So meditation is widely practiced today. We all know the PSSM is meditation, right? But you talk about it in a unique way. What are some of the distinct benefits of meditation in your system?
So this system was originally designed for war. It's a martial art, so it was not necessarily designed for enlightenment. Now, here's the interesting thing: that it was designed for self protection, for health, for fitness, and for prana development to be used in battle by the king and his heirs. That said, what we use it for now, because when you raise your life force, your prana, your chi in your body, your entire system is healthier. And so the way that this is different is we have three different parts to the Merpati Putti, or the integrated ascension method. The first one is inner power, or the prana generation, because we run on electricity, right? So if you're, let's say, if your heart stops, they're not going to massage your neck. They're going to use those paddles and they're going to shock you back to life with electricity, because we are electrical beings. And so having our body have more electricity, having us be able to then build, feel, flow, project, and detect that energy, which we totally can, that's the first step. The second one is maintaining. So first is building, second is maintaining that level of energy. If anybody out there has ever gone to the gym and you're lifting weights and your muscles get bigger, if you don't go to the gym for a few months, your
Yeah.
muscles go back. They don't stay that same size. So we need to have these exercises that maintain the electrical capacity in our body and keep our battery charged. The third one is the meditation. And that's where we actually fill up the energy reservoir in our body. So in the Chinese energy systems, they have what is known as the dantian, which is the energy reservoir below your belly button. It's not your second chakra, but it's like stored electrical energy, your life force, or a biomagnetic energy. So with that in mind, we use our meditation to help fill that up and then use it to do different things. So it might be hearing from a distance. It might be protecting yourself from injury. It might be being able to say, put your intention out into the universe to then manifest what you want better. There are many ways that we use this, and I'll be going through a lot of these things on the show. But those three things: build, maintain, and fill the cup. For those of you who work out,
Yes.
it's the same thing. You lift heavy weights to build your muscles, you do cardio to keep your stamina, and then you have to have the proper nutrition to build your body. That's the same thing in the energy world, because everything is energy. That's the same
Yes.
kind of same kind of situation. So that's the way that it really is different, is that we do focus on the expanded states of consciousness and perceiving beyond our body, and also really getting to know who we are. Like, who am I? That's a very important question that a lot of people don't really ask. Mindful presence, but then also using our energy and using these meditations to do different things, to actually do different processes. So it's a whole toolbox of energy work.
Yeah, this is so true because in PSSM we say meditation is like a foundation. If your foundation is strong, you can create a marvelous, a massive building because we have a lot of channelers and everything. Even for me, because when I do light language channeling, and everyone was saying, you don't do meditation anymore. I said, no, that's my base. That's my foundation. If I'm not meditating, if I'm not being with myself, if I'm not filling up my own cup, I won't able to channel. I won't able to do. So yeah, that's true. Meditation is the foundation of everything.
When you get on a plane, they're doing the safety briefing. They teach you how to put on your seatbelt. They tell you where the exits are. But when they say, when the masks drop down, put it on yourself
Yes.
first before anybody else. You have to take care of yourself first, or you're not good to anyone else. So we definitely are a firm believer in that. In the integrated ascension method, is that the stronger and healthier and more powerful and positive you are, the more light you're going to radiate into the world. But if you know, I consider it to be not a sin, but I would say it's just as harmful to give of yourself to everybody else and neglect yourself and your own health as it is to be selfish and not help anyone else and only help yourself. I think that those are both extremes, but finding that place where you take care of yourself so that you can take care of others is so important in our life. And we all know what it's like when you do something good for someone else, and that feeling that you get when they say thank you and their life is now improved because of something you helped them do. There's really no better feeling than that. And for those of you who are parents out there, you know exactly what it's like when you taught your child to walk. Remember how happy you were, they're not going to be a crawler their whole life. Yay, look at this. They're great. And you give them all this praise, all this encouragement because they learn to stand up and left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. But along the way, a lot of the time we stop doing that for ourselves, especially as adults, especially as a high performance person. I can tell you, I have overlooked my own accomplishments many times and just gone on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. And so that's something also that our meditation helps people do is really recognize their own power, their own sovereignty, and most importantly, the radical responsibility that we all need to take for every single thing and every lesson that we bring into our lives. So Patriji's absolutely right. I agree with him 1000%. Meditation is the base. And just like a pyramid, I mean, what is the most powerful structure and strongest structure in the world that you can make?
True.
There's a pyramid as far as in 3 days, in 3D. So that is got the meditation has to be the base. You can build the, you know, extra sensory abilities and okay, but if you're not actually at home here and you're not actually really connected with yourself, those things are just simply distractions.
True. Can you tell us about some of the technologies and biohacking tools you incorporate in your method and how they enhance the traditional practices?
Yes, definitely. So a few things that I've come across that I just absolutely love. The first one is vibroacoustic therapy through InHarmony. So the InHarmony company, they produce these meditation cushions where you sit on them, and then when you plug in your phone and your app, it vibrates with different frequencies that you choose. So it could be the 528 hertz of love. So your whole body, every cell vibrates with the frequency of love. It's a really amazing experience while you're wearing headphones. So for me, right here, just to let you know, I have an 8 foot tall pyramid that has my meditation cushion underneath it, and I wear a gold pyramid on my head. So I'm inside the pyramid. I'm on the vibroacoustic therapy cushion while I'm wearing the pyramid, and I have pyramids all around my meditation cushion. So I just, what can I say? I don't go small. I go big for everything I do. And so the vibroacoustic therapy is important. Also, pyramid technology. So wearing a pyramid on your head for the scalar energy benefit, which we know if you're watching this on PMC and you're part of PSSM Global, you understand that the sacred geometry and
Yeah.
the energy that is focused through a pyramid structure is incredible. And so I've been meditating with a pyramid on my head for like 15 years. I had no idea about PSSM Global until I met all of you in North Carolina. And then I was like, they've been doing this for 40 years. Wow. Okay. So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited to be here is because I know how much that improves our meditation. Another thing that I love is binaural beats and brainwave entrainment. So a good friend of mine is named Dr. Jeffrey Thompson, and his type of binaural beats is called scientific sounds. And he has been a leader in the brainwave entrainment, neuroscience, and the binaural beat technology for over 40 years. He's sold millions of albums, and his technology is unique in the brainwave space. And you can find out more about that through my website on my product page about scientific sounds. By all means, check that out. But what if instead of having to sit for, say, 45 minutes to be able to drop into a alpha brainwave state where we have enhanced creativity and expanded perception, what if you could do that in 2 minutes just by listening to sounds that put your brain in that brainwave state? Well, what happens is you get to do more with less. You go farther, faster with this technology. But then, because he has discovered the brainwaves below delta, these are brainwaves that neuroscientists had no idea existed until he discovered them because they didn't have equipment that could measure them. So these are things that take us into brainwave states that most humans will never be able to actually attain through meditation or any other method. And so some really cool things happen when that happens. So I love the brainwave entrainment from Scientific Sounds. Another thing is nutrition. So I work for an amazing company called Aria Organic, And this is the most amazing non-GMO, all organic Indian food you will find on the planet that is infused with the 528 hertz frequency of
Oh,
love.
wow.
So every time you eat the khichdi or the amla, you are eating love. It's amazing. They have sacred geometry on all of the packaging because the geometry will focus energy that way. Every product is blessed by elders before it leaves the factory. And so this is something that I'm really passionate about because food is energy, right? So when we take in good food, good energy, we're going to have a better experience in our energy and our meditation in America. Now, I'm sure there are people all over the world watching this, and you may know America has the worst food in the world. We have more chemicals, we have more disease, sickness, obesity, diabetes than any place else in the world. So, to have a product like Aria Organic, where people can get the moonbeam soup kit, which was passed down by Buddha's physician Jivaka, and is the cornerstone of one of the most powerful Siddha Veda systems in the world. That food alone can, I've seen it heal heart disease, all kinds of things, just from eating that food. It's amazing. So food, very important. Supplementation, different vitamins, different chemicals that we can take into our body that are natural, that help our cells produce more energy, to help detox our system. So when we're breathing, doing the integrated ascension method, breath work, we're detoxing, but we're also helping on the chemical side as well with the things we're eating.
Mm.
And then other energy technologies that are like quantum entanglement, energy pendants that help block EMF and different negative harmful frequencies. And there's so much more. You can see it on my website. There's so much more. I love the technology. I love where we're at in our evolution of technology and science right now. But we didn't have these things 500 years ago, so people could not know how to use them. So, and I'm the only one that I know of in the world that is incorporating these things together.